Well, good evening, everyone. Happy Thursday to you. Happy Detox Diva Day. My name is Tina Hewerman. I am the founder and hostess of the Detox Divas. I have guests on, hopefully all the time. I love having guests on. But tonight's call is super special because we've been spending a lot of time talking about insulin resistance, the struggle with weight gain, weight loss, and the cancer connection with the sugars and everything. And so, with that, we had recently, within the past probably 8 weeks, we had launched the GLP-1 Reset Kit. And I asked some people that have been on it for some testimonies and two different testimonies tonight, but two amazing women that have volunteered to kind of maybe shed some light on you and help you on your own journey. And hopefully you will be joining us if you've not joined us on the Reset Revolution. But we are talking tonight about a GLP-1 activator, natural activator that supports your body into the ability to release weight, burn visceral fat, neutralize some of those harmful insulin foods that we eat, and help it so that they don't interact with the body as much as it would without it. So tonight I have Diamond Ambassador Tiarra Moore with us, and we've got our favorite nutritional chef Suzy Brown with us. And so we're just going to have a little conversation tonight. I have put together a list of questions that we are going to go over. Oh, there we go. And I've got some admins. So if you guys could continue letting those people in, I would appreciate it. So let's start with Tiarra. Good evening, my friend. Thank you so much for being on here tonight.
Good evening, and thank you for asking me to join the call. Happy
Absolutely.
Juneteenth, everybody.
Happy what?
Juneteenth.
Yes, it is. I don't even look at the calendar. Happy Juneteenth, everyone.
I have my bling shirt on.
Yes, you
Commemorating.
do. Yes, you do. You are the bling shirt girl. So you have had amazing success with some weight release with the products. And I think you and I are kind of pretty close into
Mhm.
the amount of weight that we've released.
Yes.
Always correct myself. I don't want that stuff back. So what was going on in your life before you started the GLP-1? I mean, I know you've both of you and Suzy have both been on the products for a couple of years now. But what was going on with your health prior to this and even mindset possibly?
Yeah. And I use a lot of our products. I was on the Slimmer Max, using the Mind, Body, and Soul, the Vitality, Black Seed Oil, which is one of my favorites. The Gut Check. I was on a lot of different things. But with the Slimmer Max, which is another one of our weight loss products, I was not always consistent with taking those products. And, I'm a school teacher. End of year, we having all these parties and for teacher appreciation week, the kids are giving me all these gifts. And of course, all the gift bags had chocolate and candies and cookies and all this sugar in it, all this stuff I don't need to be eating. And I didn't want to break the little kid's heart and throw it in the trash. So I had to eat it. But but no, just snacking and, just not being as disciplined, as I needed to be, especially with end of the year at school. It's just a lot of food. It's just food everywhere. And
Mhm.
so I just wasn't disciplined, with taking my Slimmer Max. And so even though I was, seeing different success with the other products, like being on the Healing Trilogy, the Black Seed Oil, my lupus markers disappear from my blood work. Um, and I was also on advice, the detox tea. And so I did have success there, and I was losing weight. But like I said, I wasn't being consistent
Mhm.
with a slimmer. So it was kind of like I would lose weight and I would gain it back. Then I would lose again. And it was kind of like up and down because I wasn't necessarily being consistent. And then I wasn't really working out because I do have a leg injury on my left leg. So that kind of affects my mobility. So I wasn't really working out. So just kind of yo-yoing a little bit. So that's kind of where I was before the GLP-1 kit.
And how about you, Suzy? I know you, being a nutritional chef, vegan, reflexologist, and with your own clients and stuff, where were you at before the GLP-1 kit came in?
Um, you know, even though I'm in the health industry, it is, I'm a real person too, and I have real struggles. It was last year when we did the 90-day challenge is when I really drew my line in the sand and at that time I was also being introduced to some new really in deep gut testing to find out where my microbiome really is at. I released um 15 pounds during that challenge, and I have kept 12 of them off consistently.
Okay.
So starting, and that was about a year I've kept 12 off. I've gained a few back. They came back, but it's easy to kind of fluctuate back and forth now. I kind of started to just get in a rut and kind of start to head back to my old habits.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been a struggle. And when this system came, I actually got it a little later than and so I started a little later. I'm a couple weeks behind mostly everybody. I found that is easier. I love the trilogy. I love everything, and I'm a trilogy girl. I've taken my trilogy every day. But what I've noticed really about these is that it is easier. I still take my mind, body, and soul every day, but I did a new deep gut test, which is amazing. I'm allowed to have berberine again, so I'm allowed to bring back the berberine ACV, and I take that in the morning with my Glycopro, and I'm noticing a big difference. I'm actually noticing a, a big difference in how I am feeding and fueling my body that I've never noticed before. And I'm really very impressed with it.
Yeah, I am too. And both of you touched on something, that I love to talk about, and it's mindset. And it's making that decision to do it, to be that best version of yourself, to make those choices and love yourself enough to put yourself first. And I just did a reel the other day where I demonstrated how I got these glass bottles off of Amazon, you can fill it with the vitality, even really, and then add the ingredients in there, put them in your fridge, because people are like, well, I always forget to do it when I eat dinner and then I forget to take it. Well, you have to get in your fridge to pull the dinner out. So have it sitting right there where you see it, grab that, drink that while you're having your dinner, just to take that failure, because a lot of people will set themselves up for failure and they'll be so addicted to failure that they will like eliminate the step of taking this before dinner just so that they can reinforce that lack of worthiness, which is sad that some people are like that, but it is what it is. And hopefully they'll be consistent enough to take it every day, have those little wins and those little victories, so that they can start developing that stronger mindset. So what did you have any, Tiarra, back to you, did you have any skepticism about this kit? Were you like, oh, this is just going to be another one of those things? And what made you say yes to the reset?
I absolutely had no doubts, no skepticism at all, because I'm a believer in the green organics products because I've seen so many great results, just from taking the other products. So I was like, oh, I know this is going to be a banger. So I was like, yeah, I was excited, when it came out, and I saw the ingredients and I saw all the vitamins and the minerals and the glucoprotect. I was like, oh yeah, I'm excited about this. So
Yeah.
no doubts,
How about
no
you?
doubts at all.
How about you, Suzy?
Well, since I had a little inside tip trading going on back in April, it was a game changer. I had the lovely opportunity. I was invited to speak at the Iowa Reflexology Conference in April, and at that time, I was actually able to meet Tina in person and she brought me a sample of the Glycoprotect. Didn't tell me the name, didn't tell me anything, but we did have a little sample. And what blew me away is I've been wanting to have a savory meal replacement, and I've been working on one for many, many years, and it just hasn't been right. And when Tina gave me the sample, it blew my mind, and I was very excited, and I couldn't wait to see what the rest of it was going to look like and how it was going to show up. I absolutely love it. I add it into food. I drink it as a broth. I've turned my clients onto it. I have a client who is now just solely on the GLP-1 system, and she's down another 2 pounds, 43 pounds in the past year total, just because of the HBN product. So she's another one of my big testimonies. I'm really proud of her. So yeah, this was when you gave me that sample, it was it couldn't get here fast enough.
Yep. Yep. It was such a blessing to meet you too. And we had fun.
We did have fun.
We went to like a little indoor market type place and just chatted, and I took her to, a couple shops that anyway, so it was fun. So Tiarra, what was your first week, 2 weeks like? Did you have any roadblocks? Did you notice anything early on? What were you experiencing those first couple weeks?
I saw results day one. My very first day, because see, I'm a snackaholic. Okay. I like to snack. And I'm a little bit of an emotional eater. So I noticed day one, I was not hungry.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have any cravings. I wasn't hungry. And, sometimes well, typically I don't eat till like 11, 12 o'clock anyway. But I noticed like throughout the day, it was like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. And I was like, I didn't eat today, but I wasn't hungry. Like I wasn't hungry at all. So like I noticed that on day one. And I would say I started noticing some of the pounds coming off like by like my third day. I think I weighed myself like on the third day. And then I noticed that I was like starting to lose a little bit of weight. So I was like, okay. So yeah, day one, right out the gate, I saw results immediately.
And that's such a motivator, isn't it? When you
Yeah.
have that instant result. Now, Suzy, your story is just a little bit different than that.
Yes. So I didn't when I got mine, I tried it. So I already do a fast. I'm already do between a 14 and 16-hour fast. So I have a very light breakfast. And what I have noticed right away is when I have my lunch around 1 o'clock, I used to have um, some cravings around 2, 3, maybe even some slumps. I'm not getting those now. Now I'm coming up on a month, um, and it now has finally started to kick in, and my body's starting to accept it. It's like, okay, here we go. And yeah, I don't snack. I don't feel the need to snack anymore. Right after lunch, I still want a little something sweet, so I have a date, and I may have like a 92% half ounce of a tiny piece of chocolate just to give me that little thing, and then I'm done. But I drink my Slimmer Max Pro all day long, and I mixed it with I mix it with fruit, and so that's what I just drink all day long, and I think that's what's helping me is because I put about 3 scoops of Slimmer Pro in here, a scoop of a lemon powder and a blueberry powder. This actually happens to be some blackberry juice that I made earlier today. And that helps me throughout my day. And in the mornings now, because I just started back on the berberine, I do the gluco and the berberine with my fulvic in one cup in the morning. And that's able to get me to go a little farther in my fast. And then I normally eat my dinner right about now. So I'll have dinner after we're done, and then I'm done eating, and I'm not snacking. And when I'm eating lunch, my lunches are smaller and I get fuller faster. So there's definitely it's my satiety is happening more and I'm noticing it more.
Nice. Yeah, that's what I'm
Mhm.
finding too is I've said on a couple calls now that I can out eat my husband. Excuse me. But with this, I'm not eating the biggest meals anymore, you know. Do either of you have any tips or tricks to help you stay on track? Because I think that's one of the biggest things with my clients is I forget to take it. Oh, I forgot to take it before here. I forgot to take it before there. And so if you have any tips or tricks that might help someone stay consistent.
I set alerts in my phone.
Okay.
So I have recurring alerts and I'm reminding myself at a such and such time to take my stuff, right? But then I also have, so I'll do like, make the Gluco Protect fresh, but I'll have like a couple of maybe days worth of the Slimmer Pro pre-made in
Mhm.
like 8-ounce bottles. And so then that way I could just grab, drink it, and be done with it. But I was kind of experimenting with doing them together. So I would do like the Gluco Protect and the Slimmer Pro together. Then I was experimenting and doing them separately. And I found that when I do it together, I stay satisfied longer. Like I'm really not hungry. Like when I drink them together. I'm not really hungry when I drink them separate either, but it's like even more so, it's even more pronounced when I drink them together. But I set the alerts on my phone because like my mind, listen, it'd be a lot going on up here. So I have to set alerts. So I do the alerts on my phone and then I just have the bottles already pre-made for the Slimmer Pro. So then when my alarm goes off, I just grab it and I'm ready to roll.
So now that it's summertime and your schedule is kind of opened up, do you find it harder for you to stay on track or your phone reminders helping you?
Yeah, I just stick with the phone reminders.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good, good. Susie, how about you? What helps you stay on track?
I make this filled every morning because going to work, I was doing the individuals and I'm like, it's just not. So I drink this throughout the day. And then I also have one, a size like this of just plain water. Um, One of the things to get me my GlucoPro in is when I'm making my breakfast, I make that first, so I'm drinking that while my breakfast is being made. And if I'm making it for dinner, instead of having, because I don't have a cocktail, but it's my cocktail, I'll put it in a nice glass. And so I'm drinking that while I'm prepping dinner, just like you would if you're having a glass of wine or something else in your dinner. I'm also now very thoughtful is if I'm going to have a higher carbohydrate meal, even at lunch, then while I'm preparing that or knowing that, I will make it. If I know that my lunch at work is going to be higher carbohydrate, I do have my 4-ounce shot glass with a lid that I take with me. So I will pre-make that, knowing that I have a higher carbohydrate meal when I'm at the office. So I will pre-make that and I think about what's happening and just make it easy. So I find this is the easiest way. Just drink it all day long.
Yeah, good, good. Now, Tiara, you had instant results right away. What was one of the first things that your friends and family noticed first? How long before they started noticing you were making changes in your body?
Within that first week, like they could see like my face was kind of starting to go down because I got these big old cheeks, you know, big old chubby little face. But they noticed that my face is kind of slimming down, and then my pants were getting a little bit loose. So that's well, really my face is what people notice first, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Susie?
Oh, the biggest thing that I noticed right away was my inflammation belly gone. Um, like one moment it's like I have this little belly and then it's flat. And that's the biggest one. And I notice I've been on a lot of Zoom calls lately, and I know this sounds really vain, but you tend to look at yourself, right? And I'm noticing
Mm-hmm.
all through here. And I think also my skin. Some people have commented that I have the glow in my skin, and my skin looks really healthy and amazing. And
Yeah.
I think that those are the two. And I'm going to be getting back and doing a big reset for myself and some of my clients, and that's going to be kind of getting me back into my normal track. And I think that's when I'm going to start seeing the main weight loss start to come off. But I fluctuate between 5 pounds, 3 to 5 pounds, but I'm maintaining like right in there, so I'm not gaining any. Um, but it's definitely keeping me there. But the inflammation is gone, none.
So I'm going to stick with you for just a second,
Mhm.
because, people can get frustrated when they're expecting to release all this weight. I mean, the science behind this shows a 12-week period, and people are wanting these results in this first month. Now, you've not lost any weight, really, have you? No.
No.
But your inches, you told me you're down 3 inches in your belly,
Hmm.
and you've got what are your other statistics? I forget right now.
My chest is down an inch, my waist is down another inch from last year at this time. So I've not had this waistline in many years. Even though I'm not at my goal weight, my waistline is going down.
Mhm.
And I'm also wearing another shirt that is not tight on me. And clothes make is the difference. And the girls are big. They're not small. And they take up some space.
Yeah.
So it's nice to know that down in the trunk, the shirt is loose and I feel comfortable about wearing it out in public. And I don't feel like I need to cover up
Mhm.
and and hide. Not that I'm, exposing everything, but it's nice that I'm able to just feel comfortable in my clothes, which is then ultimately in my skin, or
Mhm.
vice versa.
Yep.
And no, I haven't lost the weight. And there's some other reasons why. I know why. I'm human,
Yeah.
but I'm getting back on track, and that's
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and you lost, all that weight before on the 90-day challenge. And that's one of the things too. Like me, I forgot to measure. But I was part of the sample crew. And so it's not like I started all the products at once. I started, I think, the Tulsi Trim first, and then the Glucoprotect, and then the Slimmer Pro. So mine was kind of staggered in how I started. But I'm up to what, 22 pounds released since the samples first came, which, you just, there's just something about that mentally that makes you want to keep going. And even if it's not pounds lost, it's seeing that reduction in the belly. And I think that was huge for me too. I think that was the first thing I noticed, was I didn't have that inflamed stomach anymore. And that was really big for me. I think that's when I first wanted to try on my shorts that I wore to a concert 10 years ago, and I got them on.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Tiara?
Say your question again. I'm sorry.
Oh, you've lost, drum roll.
13, I think it's 13 pounds.
Yep. And how are you
Yeah.
feeling?
Feeling good. Feeling good. My little gut is going down. I don't feel as bloated. So
Yeah,
that's good.
that is awesome.
Face is slimming down, gut is going down. I don't feel as, bloated. I'm releasing waste through my bowel movements a lot better. I mean, I had pretty good bowel movements before, but it's coming out. So that's good. And I feel like my clothes are getting a little looser. So that's really good.
And what has surprised you most about the reset?
I'll tell you an unexpected result, right? So I had some blood work done recently, and before I was taking the system, my creatinine levels were a little high. And creatinine is a waste product produced by the muscles, and it's filtered out by the kidneys. So if you have elevated creatinine levels, that can indicate that you got a little kidney malfunction going on. So my creatinine levels were elevated, and I had another blood test on Tuesday, and my levels are back in a normal range. Like, so that was a surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a surprise. So it was so the normal range is I wrote it down, 0.57 to 1.11. Mine was at 1.13 initially, and now it's at 0.91. So it's
Wow.
still got to come down a little bit, but it's in the normal range now. It's not elevated. And the only thing I did differently was the GLP-1 kit. That was the only thing I did differently. So that was an unexpected result. So now my kidneys are filtering better on the kit.
Yep,
Yes.
absolutely. Maybe think about throwing in some of that KV detox too and massaging that over your kidneys would help,
Mhm.
flush
Yeah.
that out. That is awesome. Suzy, what about you? Well, your gut microbiome, you talk about that quite a bit.
Yeah.
Any big changes with you other than the inches lost that you've noticed?
Um, it's probably more of the mind and soul of calming than it is of the body. And really, like really being thoughtful about it and really taking this on. Um, and noticing that I just breaking it down to bringing it down to like three products has made it just so much easier.
Mhm.
And it's hard for me to tell you how I feel. I feel light and I feel clean.
Yeah.
There's this, and there's also this calmness that comes around with it. And that's one of the things. It's like, okay, I'm listening to my body and I'm listening to how it's going. What will be interesting is, so I do my gut test once a year, and I'm not going anywhere. It'll be interesting to see my if uh, my akromansia has shifted because it's low. So it's going to take a lot of work for me to get to where other people are experiencing, only because I have a sick microbiome and I have a lot of work, but it's starting to help
Good.
and it's starting to get me there. So that's where it's at, and gives me the ability to, I am my own client and my own patient.
Mhm.
And I'm healing myself, and I'm doing what I'd ask any of my clients to do if they really, really, truly want to heal.
I think that's key right there
Yeah.
is really wanting to take that step and put yourself forward, the
Hmm.
mindset surrounding it.
Yeah.
If someone were watching right now, whether they're watching live or on the YouTube replay, and they weren't quite sure if this was for them or not, but they have those bad habits, they have the bad eating habits, they're not getting enough sleep, they've got that uh, um, fear of success mentality, what would you say to them right now?
Give me 2 weeks. Give me 14 days.
Mm-hmm.
14 days, and we will get you started, and then after that, we will take the next step.
Yep. Yep. Awesome. How about you, Tiara? What would you say to somebody that's like, I don't know, it might work for them, but it's probably not going to work for me type person?
Yeah, I was just telling them to do it. Do it. I would share my story. I would tell them the great results I'm getting. I would share the testimonies of other people. are getting good results. And I would just tell them to do it. It's healthy. You losing weight, you're putting all this nutrition in your body.
Mhm.
You're not harming yourself. Other weight loss products out there, we're not going to say any names, but, causing all type of damage, damaging the pancreas and the gastrointestinal tract, people having skin issues. And, it's just a mess, and this is not going to harm you. It's going to flood your system with nutrients. It's going to improve your health. It's going to help open up your elimination pathways so you can get rid of the waste,
Right.
which is a lot of the reasons why we have weight anyway, right? Is because we're holding on to the waste.
Mhm.
So it's helping your body to get rid of that waste. And so you're naturally gonna lose weight,
Yep.
because of that. And then not only that, you're going to feel better. You're going to have more energy. You can have more clarity. You're less stressed. There's all these other additional benefits that go along with it. You may sleep better, have better peace of mind.
Right.
You have all these other benefits that come with it. And, a lot of our other health problems are because we're nutrient deficient,
Mhm.
so you have acid buildup that's causing problems. You have mineral deficiencies that are causing problems. So we're correcting all those issues at the root, with this product. So I was just telling them, just do it.
Let's do it. And we got a 60-day money back guarantee. So there's
Absolutely.
no, there's really no risk. I always say, you have to make the decision. And for those of you that know my story, I mean, everyday sobriety is a choice. And, same with your health. It is a choice. And it's whether or not you want it bad enough. And it's the same in business. It's that consistency, it's that mindset. And so if you're watching this and you're like, I don't know if it's going to work for me, nothing ever works for me, you're going to get the nutrients, you're going to get that vitamin D and vitamin K from the glucoprotect, you're going to be releasing some of that inflammation, you're going to help get your bowels stabilized. And even if you don't lose a pound, you're going to be releasing that inflammation, and inflammation is the silent killer. So, out of all the kits we have, this is this. Ooh, I would have to say my liver cleanse is still my favorite, but I do love this for daily nourishment, weight release, maintaining the inflammation. Um, so what does your future look like now that you've started this journey? What are your goals?
Yes, my goal is to get rid of this gut. Okay, that's goal number one. But just continue to lose weight. Continue to lose weight. Continue to be healthy. Of course, continue to eat healthy.
Mhm.
Of course, to move. Work out because you have to move in order to detox. You got to move. So just staying consistent. Just staying consistent. Seeing better results and getting back to my normal size. Because
Yeah. Yeah,
that's the goal.
it doesn't, we don't gain all that weight overnight.
Right. And then help others to do the same,
Yeah.
and because I have someone in my family personally that chose one of the other weight loss options that's very popular, and she's in a crisis right now,
Mhm.
and I introduced this to her and she decided to go another way, and she's suffering,
Yeah.
so just hopefully just continue to talk about the product, how this is a very healthy option, for reaching your weight loss goals, and for your health goals and for getting your blood sugar under control. So just continue to spread the word, spread the mission.
Absolutely. I was watching, I follow a doctor on Facebook that is in alignment with the root healing and the terrain healing, like we talk about a lot on here. And he was talking to some oncologists, and one of them said that it's almost guaranteed that you will end up with breast cancer by taking the Wegovy and the Ozempic.
Wow.
And it's like, it's not worth it, ladies. It
Absolutely.
it is not worth it. You've got, or men, you've got to love yourself enough. You've got to stop the toxins in your food and in your home. You've got to stop the toxins in your food. You've got to take the steps and love yourself enough to be consistent. I say that a lot. Love yourself enough. Love yourself enough because you do deserve it. get rid of that fear of success and stay consistent with this, because it's not just you, it's your whole family. It's people that love you that are going to be affected by poor choices that you make with your diet and stuff. What about you, Suzy? What would you like to add?
Oh, well, I agree with all of that. My goal is to get down to my goal weight. And I'm moving towards that. As what I've been working on the past 2 days is my 14-day plan, and to be able to bring that to the public. So working with me, not only are you getting the HBN products, but you're getting my knowledge and what I bring to the table in that community support. And I'm really excited about that. And I'm excited that this is such an easy product that goes right into how I can bring that in. And if we need to go deeper and we have deeper root causes, we're able to do that. So having this particular system as the springboard
Yeah.
to move into your higher level of healing, it's wonderful, and I'm excited about what this journey is going to be for the remainder of the year on how we're going to help people more and simple. People want it simple.
They do. And you and I just talked about that about 7-8 months ago, about wanting something simple that is easy to do, to describe, to instruct. And Paula is so intuitive, with her, just how things come to her and the products that she and Alexandria put together to bring out. And here we are, this simple easy 3-step system. Take it twice a day. Tiarra, you got your hand raised.
Yeah, and I want to add too, it's cheaper.
Yes.
It's cheaper than going and getting these injections and these other weight loss products. It is cheaper. So you got a cheaper product, but it's not cheap on quality. It's high quality. You're feeding yourself vitamins and nutrients and everything your body needs, right? It's a win-win. Like, how can you just, you can't lose.
There's another company that also works with supporting the GLP-1 production. And I was looking at some of their products, and they call it clean protein. And there was a lemon flavor. Not on any of the ingredients did I see lemon or blueberry or whatever. And I'm like, okay, how can that be? We have whole food plant-based. That is what's amazing. And anybody that is in that realm that has cardiovascular disease or has other things that need to be whole food plant-based, oil-free, sugar-free, salt-free, our products are all of that across the board, across the line. So to be able to offer that as a simple solution than somebody else trying to go and find something on the shelf at the store or on another online, anything else, we can't beat it. We can't. And that's what impresses me the most about the company and what the products that I support.
Yeah, the whole food,
whole food, plant-based, oil-free, salt-free, sugar-free.
And sustainability, like environmentally friendly. I mean, that's important too. It's a whole, it's this little hidden unicorn that I'm glad that we found out about first. Tiarra, what did you want to add?
No, that was it.
That was it. Okay. Because I thought you were raising your hand again.
No.
Okay. All right. So you guys give Suzy and Tiarra some love in the chat. I know that you've been doing that. This is such a healthier alternative. If you are currently taking, I want to say harmful. They're harmful. The shots and stuff, this might be a great segue to get you to where you don't have to stay on that for the rest of your life, because that's the biggest fear right there too, is gaining it back as soon as you stop, because your body's not being forced to that GLP-1. We're just supporting it here, whole food nutrition. And so give it a try if you are taking that stuff, and just see what it can do for you so that you can segue off of the harmful chemicals. Because I mean, that's your you're creating an environment in your body that's having it have to fight even harder your liver, your kidneys, and process all of the toxins. Yes, Suzy?
So those drugs are actually mimicking and tricking. They are actually not producing. And that is the biggest thing, is that we are actually helping our gut microbiome to produce the GLP-1 production. We're helping boosting the Akkermansia in our gut. That is the number one bacteria that produces GLP-1, where those others are actually just mimicking. So it's tricking. We're flipping a switch on and off.
Mm-hmm.
Where here we're actually healing and building. Big difference on
Huge difference
on those two.
Right.
Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense. It's like breaking your arm and taking a pain pill so it doesn't hurt.
Right.
Your arm's still broken,
Right.
And the pain pill is going to make you think, oh, it's not broken, but it's still broken. And so your body, you're not broken. You're just not treating it correctly. And so this is a way for you to take that step, commit to yourself, commit to your health, and move forward in a healthy way with us. We invite you onto the journey. We've got support groups, we've got testimonies, we've got reset coaches that are going to help you. So whoever shared this video with you, please just say, you know what, I want to try it for 30 days. And then stay committed. Use the cell phone, set your reminders, use the glass jars. I got them at Marshall's for $10 for 6 jars. They're just little 6-8 ounce jars that I fill, put my powders in there and drink it. So next up, if your health and your wealth is a priority for you, Coach Marcus is coming up next with an overview of the Green Organics Company. We talk a lot about Heart and Body Naturals on here. We mention a couple times, sometimes the Go to Sauna, which is our sister company. And so he's going to be going over the business opportunity that you can just get paid to share with your friends. You don't have to go all in like I do. You can do it occasionally. It's an amazing community. People love you. People support you, and they want to see you succeed both in your health and your wealth. So that's one team, one dream hangout.com. And then the password is Go One Team. And Marcus, just so you know, I never have to put a password in for that. It just takes me right in. Tiarra, what do you want to add?
Sorry.
That's
something
okay.
to really something I thought about. I noticed that I don't even want to eat bad anymore. Like, because I'm just flooding my system with so much goodness, it's like my body is like, okay, give me more of that.
Amen.
I used to eat like Popeyes and stuff. When I go by Popeyes, it's just like almost like I'm getting sick. Like, it's like the smell doesn't trigger for me like it used to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would smell that smell, like, oh, let me go get a 2-piece or something. It's like I don't even want it now. It's
Right.
just like I want fruits, I want vegetables, I want things that are healthy. I don't even want a bunch of fried food. I don't want stuff that's salty, sugary. It's almost like changing what I want to eat. So I just wanted to throw that in.
And it's true, once you stop eating the crap, your body's craving that. And so there is a little bit of an addiction recovery coming out of that processed food, sliced cheese, lunch meat, those easy grab and go things, frozen meals, whatever. And then once you start flooding your body with these minerals, that's not as appealing. And then if you can stay away from that for even longer, it's going to be repulsive, like you said. So
100%. 100%, Tiarra.
100%. Yep. And so when you buy the GLP-1 kit this month, you're going to get a free product called the liver support tincture. And it's a bottle, kind of like my black seed oil right here. And this is such a powerful blend. It helps gently support the liver, detoxing. Kathy's holding hers up right now, my smiling Kathy friend. And it helps to gently detox and nourish the liver, because we've talked many times, if you are blocked and your detox pathways are not moving, those are toxins that are just recirculating within your body. They're being stored in the visceral fat, which this helps burn. But you're going to have much better success if your liver is functioning properly, and your kidneys and all of that too. So that's really important. So that's free this month. if you're coming out of a toxic environment when it comes to your health, I suggest adding the soul superfood to that, because that's going to be even more love for your liver. And whoever shared this with you or first time customer, you can get a $25 off gift card from any of us to purchase that soul, add that on. So you're going to get the soul at about half price. You're going to get the free liver support. You're going to get the GLP-1. It's a 30-day program that could potentially change your life. And then you're going to have to want to talk about it and tell your friends, because they're going to be asking questions. So I'd be getting on that call with Coach Marcus. The essential oil for this month with Go to Sauna is called See the Big Picture. And as you can see tonight, just from these two amazing women that joined me, I'm just so grateful for you guys. See the big picture. It's not about weight loss. It's not about it's not always about weight loss. It's about feeling good in the skin that you're in and making that commitment to have a better health. Suzy's extremely thrilled with her results. Tiarra is extremely thrilled with her results, but they're two different testimonies. And so See the Big Picture is an excellent essential oil to apply on in the morning. Breathe when you're starting to beat yourself up, and just know that in this moment, as long as you're staying consistent with the products and taking them and loving yourself enough, that in the big scheme of things, it's all going to fall into place. So next week, I'm covering a very sensitive topic. And so you're going to want to make sure that you have all of your mamas around and let them know the title of next week's Detox Diva call is Poisoned Before They Can Crawl. And we are going to be diving deep into the toxins from being in the womb to the classroom, basically, of toxins and stuff that our children are exposed to, and the health crisis that's taking place with them. And remember, a lot of these ingredients are endocrine disruptors, and they can modulate the DNA, which is a generational curse. When you alter your DNA is passed on to your children. And so if we're altering the DNA of our children, we've got to get right with that. And we've got to make better choices. So next week, we're going to shed some light onto what's going on with our kids and their health. And I'm sure Tiarra sees a lot in the classroom between kids that have a great, healthy environment and those that don't, and can probably tell that. So anyway, that is all we have for this evening. The replay will be up on YouTube this evening. And so if you wouldn't mind liking and commenting on that, and make sure you hit that subscribe button. And we will see you next week. Thank you so much, Tiarra and Suzy, for being on the call tonight. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.